And we're back for Game 2 in this best-of-5 showdown. Rave clashing with MVP Phoenix. Only one team can come to the LAN finals of the Summit 3. Right now, GoDz, Rave leading 1-0.
Well, so far the Pinot squads look a bit better. They beat them 2 in the winner bracket, off to a 1-0 start, and seeming like they're proving the betters right, that they are the favorites coming to this series. Yeah, they looked really solid, and that was with like a pretty awful laning stage. They were getting out-farmed in all 3 lanes. Their Shadow Fiend died twice solo to a gyrocopter. But then we saw kind of the real strength of their lineup. Some really good fissures by Ninja Boogie to win them a couple of fights. Excellent just 5v5 engagements in general. And Chrissy's Ember Spirit, well, it was going off in Game 1. And as we hop into the draft for Game 2, we're going to see Rave grabbing it again. You don't want to ban it, great. We're going to take it off the bat. This reminds me of like LGD for a while with Yao, though. Just like, let's get Yao Ember Spirit every single game because he's so damn good with the hero.
It was also he's playing so poorly with all the other heroes.
Whereas I wasn't going to say it, LD.
Whereas I feel like Chrissy has been playing well in other heroes.
Yeah,
so
no, I agree.
I love Yao, but I'm going to throw my boy under the bus a little bit with that one. We'll see the Axe pick. Yeah, Sniper getting ignored again, GoDz. If you're Rave here, kind of your go-to classic supports for them, probably the Shaker, maybe the Skywrath. We see the Chen from this team occasionally, though I'm not really sold on it as like one of their top picks. I think it's a really strong hero, but I don't feel like it's necessarily Cast's personal best hero to play. But yeah, we'll see what support they want to grab here, assuming they go that route. They could go for a core. Not sure if they want to tip their hands too much just yet, so I'm thinking either like the Skywrath, maybe the Shaker.
Yeah, the Shaker's maybe an option, saying that could get banned out, but
it was such a high impact hero last game. I really, to me, like if I had to single out one player as MVP, it would have been overall Ninja Boogie that game.
Yeah, I think there's a good case there for that. So Rave, see what it may be. I think the Skywrath you mentioned is also good because you generally want a lot of just magic burst damage against Axe for when he engages in, and you try and kind of burst him down or counter kill him. So that's another good option. They're on the dire side, and that's always where having some way to take Roshan's always consideration.
As far as that goes, the Troll and Venge are both banned. I mean, there's things like Drow out there. I doubt Rave would go for it. It's not really a Rave hero so much, and they've already picked Ember, who does not synergize that well with the Drow.
Yeah.
Their Shadow Fiend. There you go. Okay, that'll be the Roche potential unlocked. But they don't get any support, so now if you're MVP Phoenix, you're probably looking to ban out something like the Skywrath Shaker here.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. The other thing is the Bristleback potentially. They could just go for the exact same 3-core heroes. Rave, not going to be shy about continuing to draft things that work. It's not like you're revealing your strategies. This is the finals. Like, this is the one series to win, and yeah, Phoenix will ban out the Bristle.
All right, so now one more ban. I'd be pretty surprised if it's not a support with this final ban. As for Rave, it's a little bit less clear where MVP Phoenix want to go. I feel like the one hero that's kind of lurking out there, GoDz, is the Medusa. They've got the Witch Doctor Axe already, so the MVP Phoenix have pulled out occasionally if they just want to run even some sort of mid-game 5-man push strat. Obviously can go late. I don't know if Rave's afraid of it, but it's definitely a decent candidate for MVP to pick up.
Yeah, for MVP, they'll be looking for follow-up to the Axe initiation here. So they've got that Blink Axe, and you've got a Witch Doctor ulti in theory, but
they could use a Skywrath as well.
Yeah, they could use the Skywrath. They could core heroes that are good to follow it up. The Storm's always nice, but that's been banned out, so other initiating, almost just damage type heroes. Maybe something like a KP Tinker could even come into play. But Queen of Pain, probably the one that stands out maybe a bit more to me as far as
there's still a Bat Rider in the pool as well as Clock. I feel like it's very risky to go Tinker here.
MVP Phoenix.
If I'm Rave, I feel like that Bat Rider is just a very obvious safe option.
These teams just don't like Bat Rider. Game 1, not banned or picked. That was just
earlier in the Summit 3 for SEA. It was like banned or picked first phase every game, but strangely ignored here.
I guess these teams just know each other. They probably practice regularly and maybe recognize that neither team wants to play it or pick it much. It's not a March hero, perhaps, not a Rio hero for the offlane. So I think Chrissy normally plays the Bat when they pick it up for the offlane. So maybe that's something. Maybe that's where when they pick the Ember Spirit, they don't Bat because it's Chrissy who normally is on the Bat.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, both Ember as well as Bat, I would say they're not. It's not like Meepo or something. Like you can swap those around, and most competent players can handle either reasonably well. So, well, for MVP, let's say it's not Tinker. What are your? I'm still looking at Medusa as a possibility. What do you think are the main considerations here for MVP?
I like Queen of Pain just with the follow-up damage and
so
being
like
a lane
Skywrath
dominator.
Quap here.
The Skywrath, I think, is slightly less essential. It is good as far as dealing with the Flame Guard from Ember Spirit, but I think they maybe even consider the Earthshaker themselves MVP. I feel like an Earthshaker Queen of Pain. Earthshaker gives that good kind of other initiation option, someone that can also rotate early, gank the mid lane with the Shadow Fiend and put some pressure on there, but Skywrath can also work quite nice.
Yeah, I could see both teams going for the Shaker here. Rave need both other supports.
5 seconds
It's a possibility. MVP will be the ones to seize the Chen, though. And this is gearing up to be a pretty strong 5-man. Well, that does leave them...
Medusa, I mean, you mentioned if you want a 5-man, Medusa's probably one of the better carries to go for.
Yeah. At the same time, Rave may be able to just rat and kind of split push with the... If that Shadow Fiend of Jaos goes for the Blink Yules build, you've got the Chrissy Ember. These heroes can be pretty good at just like slowing the game down and basically of dodging fights as much as possible.
The one hero MVP do run more than most SEA teams is also Lycan. As they want to go push, Lycan is still available.
And they did pick the Axe, so one of his best counters is removed from the Rave pool. I wonder.
It can't really go mid against CSF, or at least not too well, so it'd have to be like a safe lane Witch Doctor Lycan, which is alright, and then you can get something like that Queen of Pain from mid. Your Queen of Pain, your Medusa in theory, like you can do a Medusa with a... it's so-so, but...
Yeah, the main issue there is if you do like Medusa Lycan, it's like, what's the follow-up for the Blink Call? There's...
Yeah,
it's like no nothing.
Yeah,
just right-clicking heroes.
That sounds actually pretty questionable.
Huh.
I think like a Queen of Pain Lycan could work, but...
I feel like they need that one like bursty core here to go with the Axe. There you go, Queen of Pain. As for Rave, they went for the Rubik. An okay support versus Chen aggression. He's certainly no Witch Doctor, but at least gives you that lift to kind of throw heroes off kilter. It's a decent D-pusher with the Fade Bolt as well. And they ate into a lot of their reserve time trying to figure out how to deal with this Chen pick. It definitely caught Rave off guard. And they're down to 27 seconds here, and only 12 of reserve time remaining.
10 seconds
Gotta make these last picks quickly.
Yeah, the Shaker's probably something they'll fall back on if they feel like they don't have time to think of something more suitable to the game in the draft, but...
Shaker Rubik's a very awkward support duo, though. They're just so passive and defensive by nature.
5 seconds remaining.
Tree. Well, even more passive and defensive in some ways.
So they won't be able to keep their towers alive. I think they look at MVP and like, yeah, you're going to be 5-manning a bit with this Chen, and just a lot of heals from Chen Witch Doctor, but they're not going to have huge damage to bring down a tower quickly. So if you ever repel them off your tower, you can heal it up using Living Armor. The hero also helps secure the laning stage for your Shadow Fiend against the Queen of Pain mid.
And MVP do not actually push that hard. They've got Chen Witch Doctor, but there's like no real damage on towers aside from Chen creeps. They don't have that... Maybe they even consider something like a Drow to round out the draft, but as the current lineup stands, they're a bit underwhelming for push. They're a good 5-man lineup, but they don't really take towers quickly, which is where Living Armor could be a huge boon for Rave. What's Rave's last pick going to be here? They need their offlaner. There's still a Bat Rider in the pool. I still feel like it could be an excellent Bat game.
It's always a great Bat game.
Good at just he's just good.
Any draft, any play style.
Good at harassing the Chen in the woods. Pretty difficult to zone out, even for a Witch Doctor.
Even good when you're against like Vengers and heroes that counter the Bat Rider. I feel the Bat is still good.
The other thing is they don't have supports that really use the stacks that much. They do have the Shadow Fiend Ember, but I feel like there will be some space in the jungle for this offlaner of Raves if they want him to have it. It's not where MVP direct their ban, though. They go ahead and ban out the Beastmaster.
5 seconds remaining.
Okay. Something that Rave play probably a bit more, I guess. Like they're looking to ban out some of the trendy heroes. And I still think the big problem is that Chrissy plays the Bat Rider, and also he's like their Ember Spirit player. So when they pick Bat, Chrissy goes onto that. But because of the Ember Spirit, maybe something they're like, well, Ryu's not really someone they put on the Bat too often, so they don't want to get it with the Ember.
Well, MVP ban the Beastmaster is an excellent Necrobook carrier, and I think with that, Rave are like, okay, they might be thinking Medusa. Let's just go ahead and ban it out. So it will be the Drow I mentioned, but well, I guess the question is, can Rave like shut down this Drow? They do have the Ember to jump him, but that's about it. No other hero to really follow up and try and focus the Drow
I think
down.
like last time it's just going to be about surviving that early to mid game. Like once you get past that, you're fine. You've got Blink Dagger, Yules on your Shadow Fiend, your Ember Spirit has a Gap Closer, your Rubik has a Blink, or Treant maybe does. So the rough part is always going to be that stage of the game where there's a Drow with Treads, triple Wraith Band and a Mask of Madness, pushing down 5-man in your towers with a Chen, Queen of Pain. If you survive that, then you're okay.
Well, they didn't. It seemed like they didn't really want to go for it, but they're just... Bat's there, last pick, you need an offlaner. Why not? It's just such a good hero. Well, we'll have to see if Ryo's bat is so bad as to justify thinking about it that much, because else I feel like for other teams it would have just been a very obvious choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the last 2 times they played this here, it was in Chrissy's hands, so maybe something he's less practiced on, but if it fits, like sometimes as a player, you're just going to say, alright, I'll do it, I can make it work, I've seen other people do it, I've versed it, so we'll see how
just don't skill your Flame Break at level 1 and you're in good shape, Ryo. That's a good start. Alright, we'll introduce the teams now, guys. Rave is currently leading the best of 5, 1-0. On the Radiant squad, MVP Phoenix are trailing. QO on the Drow Ranger. KP going to be playing this Queen of Pain. Starts with the Magic Stick. Maybe expecting to lane against the Bat early. Febby will be your Witch Doctor. Nut's going to be handling the Jungle Chen, and that puts March onto your Axe. As for Rave, Ninja Boogie was big on the Shaker last time. We'll be looking to make plays happen again on the Rubik. Ryo, your Bat Rider. Chrissy, the Ember. Cast going to be handling the Tramp Protector, and that does leave Jo as the Shadow Friend. It seems MVP do not want to fight here, but they're sticking around a little bit. Jungle will get controlled, Observer as well, Sentry both planted. In a position where it's going to be tough to deward both of them. They'll get a couple of auto attacks off here in Cast, though. He's going to have to retreat. Ninja Boogie and Ryo setting up in the tree line. They want to punish anyone from MVP who gets too close. And time to check. Does Chen save for sentries? Yes, he has. And we'll be forced to buy these, though.
Doesn't preemptively get them as well, so it looks like he'll have at least one big camp blocked off, but he has his other ones available, so not going to be too painful for him. And
are they going aggressive?
It seems to be like the MVP thing, and that's where I think the Queen of Pain is safe lane solo versus Bat. That's where the Magic Stick comes in. But yeah, you've got a Chen, so Chen will be moving around the map a lot, may end up at the top lane after a few, like around the time of the first smoke gank, but initially it will be the Drow mid with the Axe dual lane up top. Yeah,
starts with the Frost Arrows at level 1. This is not going to be fun for Jo early, but just needs one creep and he'll have his bottle, basically. He'll probably look for the second here to accelerate it, but can just get this through passive gold gain, if nothing else.
Gets the double raise off, may as well. Triple raise even, so he just maximizes his CS, and yeah, no real big issues, I think. This is actually a fine matchup for Shadow Fiend. He's on the Radiant side, so he won't be able to jungle as well as he could on the Radiant, but in general, it should be a pretty reasonable lane for him to do well in.
Could have a little dance here as they want to maybe do some dewarding. This Observer Ward not yet scouted out, though. I'm not sure if they're actually even going to find it. Seems they'll miss the first spawn at the very least. So Rave are tri-laning. Up against the Witch Doctor Axe.
Axe is really deep. He's going to get surrounded here.
Well, what can they really do, though? Rubik's low damage. There's your call for March. He's expecting more spins than this. He starts getting some, but it's a little late. Not the best RNG for him. Dot jumps on a Ninja Boogie. The chains come out. This is the tree Rubik. Just very low damage output supports early on.
Yeah.
March is getting away with a lot.
Yeah, the Leech Seed kind of negates some of the spin damage, but nowhere near enough when you're also healing your creep wave. So it just means he's going to get more and more spins because your creep wave doesn't die.
That's kind of an awkward mechanic, actually. They will deward the camp, though.
Okay, so they're going to just use their pull camp and try and play defensively and deny XP as much as possible, but they have to be worried about when that Chen makes his move towards that top lane potentially. For now, Chen sent his first creep towards mid to harass Jo, but Jo, he's got his bottle crowing even. Level 3. He's
Ryo jumping onto KP here, but it doesn't look like he wins this fight too easily. First blood for KP. Well, GoDz, you mentioned he doesn't play too much Bat Rider. That was a very ballsy move. Queen of Pain had the stick charges, did have 7 napalm stacks on him, but it was a fairly risky play as your offlaner. And normally as the Bat, you're just content to kind of soak up, get your levels, and then just rely on the jungle farm to get your blink. So, unfortunate first blood. The Drow Ranger are, I suppose, the other X factor here that may have caught Ryo a bit off guard.
One of those things, you don't see the Drow in your lane, you kind of forget the damage is there until something like that happens. You're like, wait, how did I take so much damage? Oh, that's right.
Cask is going to bounce once, not a second time. Ninja Boogie with the toss back, but he's slowed by the Battle Hunger. Febby, 1, maybe 2 right clicks are all that need, just the 1. they'll get the job done. Now the tower dive. They're losing their tri-lane here. This is not a great start for Rave. Once again, the lanes are struggle gods.
Yeah, this very weak support duo, Tree and Rubik. You needed like some hero, it feels like, with some actual good damage output.
They could have gone for the Skywrath.
Yeah, your Skywrath to replace the Rubik, or something else to replace the Tree, and the Tree seems like a bit of an odd one as well. But
I do want to point out, this is a very aggravated Jo. The Centaur preventing his stacks. Just kind of being an asshole in general. No, poor guy. Well, is mid at least going well? Shadow Fiend, no, they're losing all three lanes right now.
Yeah, the Chen's kind of made sure that Shadow Fiend doesn't have a good time, and Chen now will be rewarded with his own little stacks in the jungle. So all three lanes seem to be doing decently.
This is like the exact thing that happened in game one. A massive early lead for MVP. It's going to get even bigger now with Nuts having the Wildkin. He'll hit like level 3.5, level 4 off of this big stack here.
Rave is definitely more of a mid-game team, and you look at MVP and all their drafts, they have much more emphasis on the laning stage. They pick Drow a lot. They like these kind of more lane-dominating heroes, the Axe, the Queen of Pain. So it does kind of play into MVP's playstyle, and it's not something that Rave will be too concerned about, even with the lanes not going fantastic.
Jo getting caught out here, but he's got the high ground advantage. Got to be careful walking into those raises. Well, they are at least getting their levels on Chrissy now, top lane. Looks like he'll hit level 3. He's getting decent farm. The Shadow Fiend, yeah, he's losing in CS, but he will have some comeback potential. Gets his first stack of the game off. And Ninja Boogie's just going to abandon ship. Only level 1 on the Rubik. It feels like that's the area where they really need to catch up the most, is just their levels on their supports. He pokes his little head out. Doesn't see anything in the Radiant jungle. Now going to swing back towards mid. They have some kill potential in QO, but not a whole lot. And, well, while he's not home, MVP are just having a field day. 2 melee heroes against an Axe. Eesh. This is just not going to cut it.
Chrissy at least getting good CS, 23-9, so he's not really hurting his lane too much and getting the levels at the same time. So I guess Chrissy's on par, but yeah, the Treant's just sitting there like, okay, I can't really do much. I'm just going to sit behind you. Mid lane, Tornado harassing Jo, taking a lot of damage here. They tried to go in for the kill with the Rubik from behind, but QO managed to avoid it with the Observer Ward.
Yeah, his smoke wore off when the Rubik was just standing here, so a little sidestep from QO to dodge that one. That's all it takes.
Get rid of that Tornado, but damage has been done, it feels like. Jo, though, easily sustaining himself in this mid lane just through Bottle Crow, though, so they're...
Well, maybe not. Frost Arrow's coming out. It's only going to take 1 more auto attack, make it 2. Oh, greedy by Jo.
Yeah, the uphill miss didn't happen, and got I think two right clicks in a row from low ground to up ground, and that was the death of Jo. The ward as well, something that I don't think they realized was there. It's around the time you maybe plant that high ground ward in mid, but that's what set up that kill, allowing him to attack uphill.
Yeah, Kyo, like, he did kind of back off to the left, which suggests there's a ward there, but it wasn't, like, instantly. You know, it was, like, 5 seconds or so after the Rubik was visible, which is where maybe they didn't realize that that ward was actually planted down.
TP and Jo up top.
This could be a good turnaround for Rave. Now they're investing quite a bit, looking for Febby as well as Nuts. Both heroes caught out. Flame Guard doing decent damage. The send back is in time, but they'll still collect that Chen kill as they play Ring Around the Rosie with March. Has his own TP, but it's a 4-hero rotation into their woods just to get that 1 kill.
Yeah. And Jo, I guess, doesn't spend too much time out of lane. He does make his way back mid, but...
hello, Ninja Boogie. Quap ult is available. Lets it fly. Living armor, though. Gonna keep Ninja Boogie alive. Oh, that hurts.
No, I think he's still dead. Yeah, he's still dead.
Dire's middle tower
It's gonna be pretty close. Yeah, they can...
No, bottle. Damn.
All right, meanwhile, top lane, Chrissy gets caught out by March. March will get the kill here. So the Quap ult expended, also rotates mid, which gives this Bear Rider some breathing room bottom. Mario now looking to play catch-up here. Has 600 gold banked. I am a bit worried for Rave, though. You pick the tree to hold onto your towers, but I don't know how long they're going to hold this top lane. March already level 6, getting kills. His blink is pretty much complete.
And they've already lost mid lane. That's an important tower as well.
They could snowball this game really hard.
Yeah. Well, Bat's doing what he can in the enemy jungle, trying to get some more jungle farm going on there, and Queen of Pain coming in will scout this out, but without an ultimate, not easy to get this kill, but still possible. Rio has no Firefly.
Living armor is going to help here. Couple of auto attacks laying into him, and has the stick charges, but it seems he's going down regardless. Trying to juke through the tree line, toss out sticky napalm. KP has the blink soon. Stick.
Got the hit.
He's going to die, though, to the poison. Last hit goes the way of the Queen of Pain.
He's poisoning.
Everything going MVP's way now. They're going to take the top tower. They've got their blink on Axe. He is low on mana here, but has 7 stick charges, so actually he's got enough to start setting up additional kills. He'll pop the stick. He looks for the go on Chrissy. Maybe just waiting for that next creep wave to try. No, they're going to go now. There's your blink call to start things off. They will throw out the living armor, though. Gets off the chains on 2. Needs a spin or 2 more before he goes in for the dunk on this Chrissy. Nope, now he's in dunk range. They'll get the kill as the rotation comes from Jo, but he can't really get a whole lot done, GoDz. All around the map, everything just going more and more MVP's way. 7,500 gold lead, 5,000 experience lead, and they're running a Drow Chen lineup. This is the kind of lineup with a lead that can just end the game extremely early.
That's massive. It's not like last game where they won the lanes but only ever got maybe a 1,500 gold lead. That is almost 1,000 gold a minute that they're pulling away. That is insane how fast they're getting this lead of theirs. So Rave, not like game 1 where they can just kind of look to turn things around based on like their Ember Spirit being a mid-gamer. The SF is going to have a lot of pressure on him. No one's really ready to fight, and well, Maria's going to try to do something at top lane. Has a lasso, but not even close to
They are going on March here, potentially. They want to focus the axe. They lasso in Febby. Chrissy has the chains. They'll get the lift off to set up those chains. Can they run him down with Flame Guard, though? He goes for the TP out. Is there a Flame Break skilled yet? No, he barely makes it back to the well.
That is disastrous for Rave.
And in the meantime, Febby finds a kill on the Treant Protector. It's a massive rotation. They get nothing out of it.
Oh, and by the way, bottom lane being 3-man pushed. Tier 2 tower and the Tier 1, I believe, just before that getting brought down.
And if they don't go Rosh yet, you know it's on the agenda for MVP sometime soon. In fact, they're going to smoke. And are they actually thinking about the Rosh?
Chen creeps, and I mean, Drow alone can practically solo it with Mask of Madness.
Yeah. It's going to pop it, and in we go. Dire team does have the single ward here, but of course with the Drow being smoked, that won't be spotted. Doesn't have any backup in the pit. So if she does get caught out, she's in a bit of danger, but it doesn't seem like Rave have any idea what's happening. MVP, if they get this Aegis GoDz, they might just be able to completely bottle Rave up in their base.
There's a scouting melee creep, but here come Rave, and they're clued into this.
Oh, QO, this could be disastrous. They're not actually going to be able to steal the Aegis, though. He flies in. He doesn't have a lasso available. He's just going to try to run QO down. Now Ryo may be in danger. He goes up to the high ground, has the living armor. Backup is coming in the form of your Shadow Fiend, who gets play called. Jo caught out of position. There's the quad bolt. The dunk, he misses. Looks like Jo still goes down, though. Maybe they get the deny off, bottling up, chucking out raises all over the place, not really getting anything done for his team. Well, it could have been a free Rosh. Now it may end up being a whole lot more. Chrissy down to the low ground, but the Centaur stop is waiting. They get the kill there, too. MVP just having their way with Rave. 10-2 the lead. They're crushing them, GoDz. Make it a 10k gold lead, a 6,000 experience lead, and it's going to get even worse as the Aegis will now be collected for free by MVP.
Oh boy. So if you're Rave here, you're really just looking to sit back, give up all your outer towers, and I think farm your basic items. Your Batrider Blink, your SF, probably a Yule Scepter is still okay here, unless you want to really go for like a straight BKB, but I think the Yules is still the way to go. And Ember Spirit just needs his like drums and his levels, but the problem is you have to find places on the map to get that without giving up kills to a Queen of Pain who almost has an Orchid, and an Axe who has a Blink, has had a Blink for some time, so it's going to be really hard to avoid those kills happening to catch up and get those items.
Last game, by the time we saw the Orchid come out for the Storm, Chrissy basically had Manta, and Shadow Fiend had BKB and Yules. This time around, Shadow Fiend has a Bracer and Treads, and the Ember Spirit has the Phase, and as you mentioned, is working towards the drums, has not even completed them. This Orchid is going to be a real game changer, as long as he continues farming it up, and he's basically got Oblivion Staff number 2, can buy that next Quarter Staff any second, then just needs the Robe of the Magi. And the recipe. Expect to see an Orchid by that 14-15 minute mark if all goes well. And all appears to be going well. They'll go on to Jo mid lane. Death Ward will quickly remove that living armor. He does manage to be protected by the Nature's Guys. They're a little bit late on the sentry. Not going to be enough to tick Jo down. But they don't really need the kill. Now they can just take the tower.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if this Treant's a Earthshaker. You just have such a better time protecting your Shadow Fiend and controlling these mid-game fights. Fissure just seems to do a lot more in general. As I mean, it's easy to kind of compare last game to this game, as this game has so far been a one-sided stomp, but
I would say the same for the Rubik. Like, you could have just gone Earthshaker Skywrath. Like, that would have been so much more potent, and MVP would not have won that lane against an Earthshaker Skywrath.
It seems like drafting issues this game with the lanes.
Yeah. MVP have played well, but to be fair, it's going to be tough when your supports have so little damage. As they jump in onto Jo, MVP looking to take home game number 2 and go into game 3 with this best of 5, then becoming a BO3. They're in shape to maybe do it. Working on the tier 3 tower mid. Chrissy will toss a remnant forward, then chucks one back. He's going to zip all around. Drops the chains. Kind of a weird initiation by Chrissy.
Oh, missed the dunk,
just end up going down there despite the whiff dunk. Rims out, but doesn't need it to connect. Now the jump onto Jo. They'll get the kill from KP. MVP trying to end the game at 13 minutes.
They're pushing high ground at 13 minutes.
And Rave can't stop it.
And that's where that missing dunk. Dunk it for movement and attack speed is really important, but they're so far ahead it doesn't even matter.
There's no overgrowth, there's no spell steal, there's no Batrider blink, there's actually nothing that Rave could do right now.
At level 4.
Oh my, GG.
Rightfully so.
They just got blown out.
Biggest stomp of the tournament so far.
I would agree. The entire tournament, even including Phase 1 maybe. That was brutal.
To happen to a team like Rave, they're definitely going to look at that and say, I mean, did anyone actually really play poorly on their team? They were like Rio in the offline on his bat, made a mistake and got solo kill, but that's not the kind of thing which turns the game into that fast of one-side
I would say Rio played pretty poorly. I don't think Jo had much of a chance mid with the Chen constantly harassing him, and the fact that Queen of Pain is Drowar. Like, Shadow Fiend just loses that lane.
I think Chrissy played fine. Like, he farmed CS for CS with the axe. The supports didn't play great, but they did as much as their heroes could do. So look at that. And
the main player who could have played better to me was Ryo this game. But I don't think he really wins them the game anyway. I just look at the lane and say, this is why we don't see support duos like Rubik, Treant Protector, because you have to have supports that can actually control your safe lane, get the job done early. I think they're going to look at this game and say we should have just gone with the obvious Earthshaker Skyrat. That would have been a much better support duo.
And it's like, even if Ryu had played amazing, won his lane, and controlled the tempo of the game, I still feel like they would have likely lost this game in kind of similar fashion. Maybe it would have taken like another 5-10 minutes, and maybe MVP would have gone for the T2 towers, because they didn't even go for the side lanes. They just went straight mid, 13 minutes, supports are still level 4, so it would have been it would have taken longer to get to that point, but even with a well-played Batrider, I think you still end up at that point by 20 minutes.
Well, GoDz, this is a best of 5. In theory, it could be a very long series, but
not
already 2 games in. It's 1-1 now.
This could be a 5-game series that lasts 2 hours if we get games like this. So,
well, as long as the games are entertaining and action-packed, we're not going to complain. So we had a long game 1, we have a quick game 2. Now we go into game 3, everything tied up. Who's it going to be? Rave or MVP? We'll start to get more answers to that after this. Game 3.